today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. What is our last look at this weekend's Super Bantamweight title fight? On the undercard of Bam versus Gallo, we're going to be seeing Jamie Mercado versus Ramla Ali. Jamie Mercado, the champion, versus Ramla Ali, the challenger.
You see it almost immediately. You notice that Ramla is a bit taller and a bit longer.
Plays into her style. I'm not completely sure what Jamie plans on doing. I'm not completely sure what Jamie Mercado's plan of action is. Is she going to box and move like she normally does with other girls? Or is she going to barrel forward and try to put the squeeze on Ramla? I don't know.
She's got to know that Ramla's been knocked out before by a common opponent in Yulihan Guzman. So on that premise, does Jamie Mercado go in here looking for a knockout?
I literally don't know.
Then why are you picking Ramla Ali to win?
Because whether Jamie Mercado decides to box or Jamie Mercado decides to brawl, the assignment is the same. It's the same assignment for Ramla.
In either situation.
Move and punch. Use your height, use your length, get off your jab. Straight punches down the middle and beat those feet. Don't make yourself a stationary target. Don't engage too much. Don't sit in a pocket too long.
Box.
Just box. And if you box, you can win a points decision.
It's not a foregone conclusion that Ramla Ali wins this fight because she is fighting a vastly more experienced fighter than she is. Jamie has a lot more fights, a lot more rounds in the bank, and a lot more experience under the hot lights than Ramla does. So it's not a foregone conclusion that Ramla wins.
Just because she's the house fighter, just because she's the matchroom fighter. Last weekend, Shannon Ryan was the matchroom fighter, and she lost the points decision.
So it's not a foregone conclusion that Ramla wins.
But if I have the level of faith in her that I do, it's because of her physical dimensions, it's because of her amateur pedigree, because of her corner, Manny Robles, who's molded Ramla into a solid pro fighter.
Could be a champion.
Her strength of character, after she was violently knocked down more than once at the hands of Yulihan Guzman, violently knocked out, she didn't shy away from the rematch. She chose to run it back immediately, and she won a points decision.
That shows gusto. That shows moxie.
In tandem with her technique, Ramla's very best punches are her straight punches. And so long as she's on her toes, moving around, getting off those straight punches, she can land. Because Jamie, as experienced as she is, she swings very wide.
And even though she's younger than Ramla, I think she's slower. Slower on her feet, slower hands.
What Ramla can use to her advantage. I like Ramla Ali on points.
Jamie's got a solid chin. She's fought bigger punchers, much bigger punchers and more experienced fighters than Ramla Ali. So I don't think Ramla Ali knocks her out.
I don't think Ramla can outmuscle Jamie, but I do think she can out-hustle her. Pot shot her, pick her spots, move around.
Protect yourself at all times.
And mind the looping right, as that is a very effective punch, or at least it has been for Jamie Mercado. Ramla wants to fight at a slight crouch, bending at the waist, bending at the knees, making it that much easier for her to weave under that sweeping right hand.
Defense.
Situational awareness and keeping her wits about her. I think she can lift the WBC title from Jamie Mercado tomorrow night, and I think she's going to. So I'm going to go with Ramla Ali on points to become the Super Bantamweight Division's newly crowned WBC champion.
And what is arguably the best-dressed Super Bantamweight in the world.
Do you think you could be the first man to get him out of there at the weekend?
I think so.
How difficult do you think that will be?
It's a difficult task, but it is possible. I mean, when I fought Rungvisire and Sonny, people didn't think I could stop them either, so it's just one of those fights again. I know the way the crowd's going to be Saturday night is going to be electric, but to share the ring with Gallo Estrada, that's an honor itself. So just to be in the position I'm in right now, I'm very blessed, very thankful, and I'm just ready to keep climbing the ranks, keep climbing those pound-for-pound rankings.
Can he do it? Can he be the first to stop Gallo Estrada, who's never been stopped in 47 professional bouts? And that ain't 47 bouts against ham and eggers and tomato cans. That's 47 bouts against some of the best and brightest fighters at these weights.
Bam mentioned the pound for pound and climbing up those ranks. If he wins tomorrow, he will, at least on mine.
Currently, Bam ranks in at number 9, right behind Shakur Stevenson. A high-profile victory, let alone a knockout victory, over someone as decorated as Gallo Estrada. That will be enough for Bam, at least momentarily, to move past Shakur Stevenson. Bam is a 2-division champion and Shakur is a 3-division champion, and I understand that.
But Shakur has yet to face anybody on the level of a Gallo Estrada. That matters.
And if Bam really delivers on his promise to be the one that stops Gallo Estrada, that might be enough to move Bam ahead of Shakur, at least momentarily. Bam, who's already been a champion at super flyweight, but then he moved down in weight, subsequently unified titles there, and now he's moving back up. Now he's moving back up to super flyweight to take on one of the 4 kings at this weight, Gallo Estrada.
Going with Bam?
Youth, freshness, and fast reflexes is why. Gallo Estrada, as skilled and decorated as he is, he hasn't fought in well over a year's time. He hasn't fought since the Chocolatito fight. That has allowed considerable ring rust to collect.
And I have my reservations as to why he decided not to fight at all. Just not fight at all of last year.
But how that affects the fight, how I think it will affect the fight, is that Bam is going to be quicker to the draw, and he's going to be the sharper fighter, the sharper puncher of the two. Faster on his feet, with faster hands. He is the younger man.
10 years younger.
Bam is 24, very fresh and fly, 24 to Gallo, who's 34. 34, that can be up there in age depending on where a fighter campaigns. You know, if you're talking about a heavyweight, then 34 years old really isn't all that old. But if you're talking about the guys at the lighter weights, like super flyweight, well, 34 years old.
That's a lot of winners.
And a lot of summers. The guys at the lighter weights are more reliant on speed, more reliant on reflexes, so that affects them a little more.
No, I still think Gallo can crack. I still think Gallo can punch.
But Bam is no stranger to seasoned veterans who can punch, lest we forget. He fought and stopped Sor Rumvisai. He's one of the biggest punchers at super flyweight, and look at what Bam did to him.
I think maybe Gallo can do a little better than Sor Rumvisai did. I see room for this to be a contest.
For it to be a fight, not dissimilar from what we just saw between Jayo Pataya and Mayris Briedis in their rematch. Even though Bam is promising to deliver a knockout, I'm not actually expecting a knockout. I'm expecting a Bam Rodriguez points decision. That's what I'm going with.
But if he wants to go a step further, let him.
So I've got Bam. I've got Bam winning tomorrow.
Oscar de la Hoya, the glorified middleman that's running around like he's a big Willie with the network DAZN's money. Well, Oscar, you didn't get mad until your fighter, Ryan Garcia, got caught cheating. And then you started lying, saying that Devin ain't selling. Well, Oscar, you ain't sold since Canelo Alvarez, and he said you was bad business. You said we ain't selling. Our last 5 events have been jam-packed. Over 100,000 people. More than anybody you can say on your roster today. So, Mr. Oscar de la Hoya, I want to know, are you stealing or are you jealous that Devin the Dream Haney is the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era? And that's an era that you participated in. Now, I know we didn't sold out, but I know it's one thing that I wish hurry up and sell out, and that's fishnets.
Spill responding to Oscar, who recently uploaded a video that we talked about here on the channel, where he's talking about Devin's marquee value or the lack thereof, that, you know, Devin doesn't sell. Devin doesn't sell. Two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
It is true that Devin is not that big a draw, but you know what else is true?
What?
That was a Golden Boy promotion show. Whatever it did or didn't sell has everything to do with Golden Boy and everything to do with Oscar, everything to do with Oscar's fighter, Ryan Garcia. Now, granted that fight did sell better than Gervonta Davis's last fight.
Davis versus Martin didn't sell shit.
This fight, at least, did better than that one. Though in a very general sense, Oscar looks quite the fool, taking shots at Devin for what the fight didn't sell when you're the one that promoted that fight. It was your show.
So if it doesn't sell a bunch of tickets or a bunch of pay-per-views, isn't that your fault?
At least as much as it's Devin's fault. Recently, DAZN dispelled rumors that Devin Haney requested to wipe clean the Garcia fight footage from the internet. They dispelled that rumor. DAZN have denied that Devin Haney requested to scrub their footage of his fight with Ryan from the internet. Sources from DAZN told Talk Sport on Friday that such claims are totally untrue. Garcia uploaded a graphic to his own Instagram that read, DAZN refuses Devin Haney's request to remove fight footage of him versus Ryan Garcia, which was never the case, which was never true, but like everything associated with this entire fiasco, people take things Ryan says and just run with them, whether they're true or not.
It's like dealing with a little kid.
And the majority of Ryan Garcia's supporters seem to behave like little kids.
Little trolls.
King Rye captioned the post, "Wow, thank you DAZN for not allowing that to happen. Bro tried to erase it off the internet. That's crazy. No, that's a lie. Like several lies. I mean, Ryan's entire demeanor towards everything has been to misrepresent and misdirect, outright lie.
From the very beginning.
That's what the campaign has been. You test positive for a banned substance, so what you do is try to shift the focus over to Devin and the fact that he's with Snack, that Snack is run by Victor Conte.
Just for you and your legal team to say that, well, the aspirin they found in my system, it actually came from supplements.
And what the hell is the point in trying to put this on the Haneys or put this on Victor Conte, put this on Vada?
Misdirection.
Just like this. You tried to convince people that Devin Haney wanted the fight wiped from the internet?
No such thing happened.
No such request was ever made. But naturally, just because Ryan says something, his supporters just go with it, whether it's true or not.
And when it's not, they act like nothing happened.
They just move on to the next stupid thing Ryan Garcia said. No accountability, like what you would expect from a child.
They do a rematch, it's gonna make a lot of money.
Devin Haney stated, the next fight with Ryan Garcia will be on my terms. We caught the guy cheating, so wherever the fight is at, it's gonna be on my terms. I'm not fighting in weight classes anymore. I'm fighting any weight. I choose. I love belts. Belts put you in history forever, but I did that already. For the shit that he did, I want to make him pay for that shit that he did, in the ring and outside of the ring.
Here's the truth.
Whether Ryan likes it or not, a Devin Haney rematch is his best option moving forward because a rematch with Devin has more of a profile than, say, a fight with Brian Norman at 147 or a Montestanionis at 147 or Jaron Ennis at 147. And when they come back, in all likelihood, it will be at 147 because neither Devin or Ryan can make 140 pounds anymore.
They'll come back at 147. The problem is, the vast majority of 147 pounders are high-risk, low-reward fighters, whereas a rematch with each other, it's got a profile, it's got a backstory.
Nice controversy to help sell it. They are each other's best and most lucrative option moving forward. So whether Ryan likes it or not, a rematch with Devin, it will pay better than anything else. Anything else at 147.
Because controversy sells.
And it's not like Ryan is under much threat of being knocked out by Devin. No, Devin, God bless him, he can't crack an egg.
I think the rematch happens. I think it happens next year.
If Devin wins, they can turn it into a trilogy.
Just an idea.
Josh, what happened with you and Dubois at the face-off? Apparently you said you were going to throw a chair at him or smash him with a chair.
It's all like, basically, long story short, he's like, let's go, let's fight, this, that. I said, there's a difference between boxing and Queensby rules. And there's a difference between fighting in a hall. I'll pick up a chair and I'll smash it over your face. Just relax. So, let's go, let's go.
Was it Dominic Brazil vibes?
What, from my end? From my end, yeah.
I remember that.
He's on it, he's game. It's good.
And so I'm sure that most of you have heard by now that things got a little bit spirited between Anthony and Daniel and what was their sit-down interview, face-off, segment for DAZN, whatever you want to call it.
Looks like Anthony's working on a catch and counter left hook.
Boy, he's staying tucked behind that high guard, just absorbing those shots, waiting for the right moment to let it go. So, things got spirited between Anthony and Daniel. And, Daniel said we can go right now. I always take that with a pinch of salt whenever a fighter says that ahead of a fight, because why would you want to go here and now? You're not getting paid to fight here and now.
You're gonna fuck up your own money getting into a squabble here and now. Come on.
I always take it with a pinch of salt. I understand that because both men are going to fight and because they were in such close proximity to each other, and all the build-up that has led us here, it's entirely possible that tempers flare and people say things, but I just feel like it's something that you don't really mean. You don't really want to mess up your own money, do you?
You stand to make a lot of money, win or lose. Why would you mess that up?
Daniel has grown as a fighter. He's not as timid and awkward as he used to be. He does have a confidence about him now. He's coming off of 2 wins over 2 unbeaten fighters, so that helps. He's got Don Charles putting a battery in his back. Anthony seems like the Anthony of old.
That's old swagger.
Poised, controlled, confident, like how he used to be before the Ruiz fight.
The first one.
He avenged the loss, but I don't think he truly regained his confidence in avenging the loss. I think it took a little bit more time. I think he's been battling demons all this time, and he finally won.
And don't forget, he did lose to Usyk 2 times, so that couldn't have helped.
But as I said before, there was never any shame in losing to Alexander Usyk. Hell, at least it didn't take a year and a day for Anthony to take him on the way it took a year and a day for Fury to take him on. I think Anthony's finally realizing he doesn't have to be as hard on himself.
He's got enough people being hard on him that he doesn't need to be that hard on himself if he's not perfect.
Nobody's perfect, but you can be better. And I think he is better. Better than Daniel Dubois.
I think Daniel's going to try to jump on him straight away.
Try to finish the night early? With Don Charles in his corner, I think that's going to be the strategy. If you want insight into what Don Charles's philosophy is, look no further than Derek Chisora and how he fights. Rough and rugged, in your face, crowding you and pushing you around. That's what I think he's going to want from Daniel in the Anthony Joshua fight. He doesn't want a fence.
He wants a fight.
Try to get him to trade, land something big. Daniel is dangerous.
He is strong.
Though Anthony doesn't seem rattled by him.
And that's good.
That he's got his mojo back and he can go back to committing to his power shots to get guys out of there, because a part of how he rose to popularity was stopping guys, knocking guys out.
It's almost like people forgot that he was a knockout merchant.
I'd say for about a 2 to 3 year span after that second Ruiz fight, what he was trying to do was blend his boxing with his brawn, his boxing brain with his brute force.
He's got the right corner for that in Ben Davison.
And that's why I'm confident that he wins, because he's got power. He's got power like Daniel, explosivity like Daniel.
But he's also got what Daniel ain't got, and that's a boxing brain.
Defense. He's got defense. Daniel ain't got no defense. So he's going to be there for the right hand or the left hook.
Pick your poison.
It'll be a fun fight while it lasts, intriguing, but I think Anthony knocks him out.